Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. After more than a year of friendship drama, Kyle Richards and Dorit Kemsley were able to put their issues aside and move forward in their relationship on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14 reunion. The ladies chatted through their tension, which first came to a head when Dorit read out a private text from Kyle backstage at the Season 13 reunion, and they agreed to move on. The reunion taped on February 28th, and Kyle said that she's still in a good place with Dorit today on April 8th. "Dorit and I are good, I'm happy to say," the mom of four said during an Amazon live stream. "We worked things out during the season and then, of course, had to go over things again at the reunion, which is always tricky. But I'm happy to say we're in a better place." In addition to being upset over Dorit publicly sharing her text at the Season 13 reunion, Kyle previously said she felt like Dorit overstated the depth of their friendship. She was also hurt when Dorit made a comment about Kyle's friendship with Morgan Wade on an episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Dorit, on the other hand, felt like Kyle didn't have her back. She also got upset on Season 14 when she learned that Kyle had been texting her estranged husband, Paul P.K. Kemsley. Before the reunion aired, Dorit caught up with Interview magazine in March 2025, and she reflected on the breakdown of her friendship with Kyle. "Oh, it was nasty," she told the outlet about their drama, which took place as they were both navigating marital separations. "It was mean, and it was really hurtful. And I think that's why I had such strong emotions with regards to our friendship and my feelings about it, because it didn't feel consistent with the friendship I'd been made to believe we shared." Dorit teased that the two made major headway at the reunion. "Don't forget, we just filmed the reunion a couple of weeks ago, so I do think that viewers need to tune in and see," Dorit continued. "But I can categorically tell you this. After the reunion, there is absolutely no doubt which way we go. Viewers now know that Dorit and Kyle have decided to move forward in their friendship." After a season packed with shifting alliances, whispered betrayals, and emotional confrontations, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills wrapped its latest chapter with a reunion that fans are calling one of the most explosive yet. But while some wounds were still fresh and some friendships beyond repair, one question lingered long after the final curtain call. Where do Kyle Richards and Dorit Kemsley really stand? Speaking to Bravo Insider just days after the reunion aired, Kyle Richards leaned back in her chair, visibly relieved to be done with the season. "This season was different. It wasn't just drama, it was personal," Kyle said, eyes flickering with a mix of reflection and restraint. "With Dorit, that was one of the most complicated relationships I've had on the show." Fans watched as Kyle and Dorit, once considered the glam BFF duo of Beverly Hills, drifted apart under the harsh lights of reality TV. There were subtle digs, backhanded compliments, and a palpable distance between the two women all season long. It left many wondering, was this just a temporary rift or the final chapter in a long-time friendship? According to Kyle, things started to shift off camera before the season even began filming. "Dorit and I were in different places emotionally. She was going through her own struggles, and I had my own personal issues, especially with Mauricio," Kyle explained, referencing the widely publicized rumors about her marriage. "I think we stopped showing up for each other as friends, and it snowballed. That snowball became an avalanche on screen." From Dorit accusing Kyle of being emotionally unavailable to Kyle suggesting Dorit was being performative for the cameras, it became clear that their once solid foundation was cracking. When you've been close with someone for years, it's heartbreaking to see things change. "I think we both didn't know how to handle it, so instead of talking it out, we just let it fester," Kyle said. By the time the reunion was filmed, fans were hoping for a heart-to-heart between the two OGs. But what they got was far less healing and far more revealing. "She came in ready for war," Kyle admitted. "I was caught off guard. I thought we were going to have a conversation, but it felt like an ambush." Dorit, on her part, didn't hold back. She questioned Kyle's loyalty, implied she had distanced herself intentionally, and even suggested Kyle's recent Independent Woman storyline was more calculated than cathartic. "I get it," Kyle said now, with a deep breath. She felt hurt, but I also think she was projecting a lot of her own stuff onto me. and that's what made it hard to move forward. So, where does that leave them? After the reunion, Dorit and I didn't speak for a while. Kyle revealed. We needed space. But recently, we ran into each other at an event, and it was awkward, but civil. According to Kyle, the icy run-in wasn't the dramatic face-off some might expect, but it was clear that things weren't back to normal. We hugged. There were smiles. But it wasn't the same. There's a wall there now, she confessed. So, are they friends? I wouldn't say we're enemies, Kyle said carefully. But are we close? No, and I don't know if we ever will be again. It's a candid admission, one that longtime fans may find bittersweet. But for Kyle, it's also a reflection of her broader journey. This season forced me to evaluate all of my relationships, not just with Dorit, but with myself, she said. I realized that sometimes, holding on to what was keeps you from growing into what could be. While Kyle is opening up, Dorit has been more reserved since the reunion aired. She's posted cryptic quotes on Instagram, one about snakes in designer heels, another about choosing peace over people, but has avoided naming names. A source close to Dorit said she felt deeply betrayed by Kyle. She always stood by her, and when she needed Kyle, Kyle wasn't there. It's not just about the show, it's about real life. Still, Kyle doesn't harbor resentment. I'll always care about Dorit. We made amazing memories. But right now, I'm focused on surrounding myself with people who meet me where I am. Post-reunion, Kyle has been channeling her energy into new projects, including her health journey, her daughters, and a potential scripted series she's been teasing on social media. I'm evolving, she said. This season was a wake-up call. I don't want to be stuck in old patterns just because they're familiar. As for the next season of RHOBH, Kyle isn't ruling anything out, but she is setting boundaries. I'm going to be very intentional with who I give my energy to, she said with a knowing smile. I've learned that sometimes peace comes when you stop trying to fix what's already broken. In the ever-shifting landscape of the Real Housewives, few relationships are truly permanent. And perhaps that's what makes Kyle and Dorit's dynamic so compelling. It's real, raw, and reflects how friendships change when life does. So, where does Kyle Richards really stand with Dorit Kemsley? Somewhere between nostalgia and acceptance, between a painful past and an uncertain but peaceful future. And maybe that's okay. When the cameras stop rolling on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the real drama doesn't always end. After a season laced with betrayal, whispered rumors, and shifting alliances, Kyle Richards is finally setting the record straight on where things stand with her longtime friend, and now maybe frenemy, Dorit Kemsley. In an exclusive post-reunion interview that Bravo fans were waiting for with bated breath, Kyle peeled back the rhinestone-covered curtain and gave us a raw look at her fractured friendship with Dorit. And in true Beverly Hills fashion, its complicated RHOBH Season 13 reunion was as emotionally loaded as ever, with tearful confessions, icy stares, and unresolved tension simmering just beneath the surface. While the reunion aimed to bring closure to some of the season's biggest blow-ups, it also served as a mirror, reflecting how deeply Kyle and Dorit had drifted apart. We weren't in a great place going into the reunion, Kyle admitted. There had been things said, things she said in her confessionals, things I heard through the grapevine that really hurt me. Throughout the season, fans noted that Dorit often expressed frustration with Kyle's emotional unavailability and her seemingly secretive behavior, particularly surrounding the breakdown of her marriage to Mauricio Amansky. Kyle, on the other hand, felt betrayed by how quickly Dorit seemed to align with certain castmates who were not exactly in her corner.